Pour me a cup of that Joe. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge, baby. Let's start the show.
Surprisingly good temperature in here, I think.
Yeah, it's warm.
I like it like this. Honestly, you guys know me. I'm a sweater, and I like sweating.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
like
you would
sweating.
like it to be cool if you are a sweater.
No, because I like the feeling. I like that sort of slippy, slidey feeling.
Well, then you should say you're cold-natured. You get cold, so you like it to be hot.
But I think I'm warm-natured. I move towards nature. I'm like a cold-blooded animal. I like to be in a I like to be in the temperature I like to feel. So I like to be in the heat.
Well,
like
I
to
mean,
lay
your
on a hot
bed,
rock.
your bed is uncomfortable, kind of like a terrarium. Would
Yeah,
be.
well,
I mean,
I was so
Well,
it was so nice when they
I would
said.
say the terrarium comparison is
Accurate.
100% accurate.
Yeah, right?
The bed.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you guys-
the rock, it's the lizard.
because you like her
It's a
side of the
glass
bed
box.
soft and your side to be rocks and a cactus.
Yeah, I wish there was a her side right now. It's all him side.
Hey,
It's
down
all
here, you
your
don't need a
side.
heat lamp.
Yeah, no, I haven't
nice.
needed a heat lamp. You guys know my old place up on Earth. I had a nice little heat lamp, but down here I don't even need them anymore. And I'm just, honestly, and I'm loving the food that they've been giving me. That fresh lettuce is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it's so good. It's so crisp. It's watery. It keeps me hydrated. Honestly,
Are you okay, though? Because I noticed you haven't been eating your crickets.
huh?
I noticed you
They
haven't been
keep
eating your
jumping away
crickets.
from me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quick enough. I'll get there, though. I will get there where the cricket eating will be possible. But
Well,
for now, I
mean,
can't.
you do have a elongated neck that is able to eat things whole and slowly push them down.
Right, yeah. I think a very quick evolution, you could say. Came down here, started eating things that reptiles eat, and I started to sort of feel more like a reptile, look more like a reptile.
Keep offering all the women here apples from a tree.
Also, you've been crazy about Budweiser lately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I met those two guys. I met those other two guys. and
Guys?
those other two frogs. And we've just been having a blast with the bud. Bud, I'm the bud. They're the wise. They're the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you guys have been touring around doing that commercial?
Yeah.
Like it's an act?
Yeah.
So you and two frogs,
Yeah.
two bullfrogs
Yeah.
are on the road in hell, which is where we are.
Yeah.
Let's not, I mean, we're like... We
I
were
haven't
in
forgotten.
To
Yeah.
ourselves.
I have
We're
not
gonna admit to
forgotten.
ourselves right now.
I think that's...
I'm saying it. I mean, I
say
know
that.
it was hard to say at first. We're in hell.
I had the same thing after my third divorce. I couldn't say I was divorced for a long time, and it was a huge
You didn't.
personal thing when I finally said it, and I finally left the house.
That must be
Same
so
for
hard
me
for
with-
you guys to be in hell. I mean, because I'm not,
Oh,
I'm
Jesus,
not there
he's
yet.
still lying to
I'm
us.
not there.
Well,
You're in denial,
it's,
Sam.
it's the first stage
I'm
of grief.
in-
And
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
right.
mean the river.
No.
No.
You
he is
don't.
not,
I do.
He's not Cleopatra.
Well, then why am I dressed like this?
Well, that's
Then why am I dressed like
it's
this?
so weird
I'm
that
standing in the Nile.
you're playing out the joke in denial while you're in actual denial.
This is
It's weird. It's
unbelievable.
weird.
This is so
It's
disrespectful.
complicated.
No,
It's got-
look.
I know who I am.
It's fine.
I'm Cleopatra, and I'm bathing in the Nile.
Listen, you need to go to the health therapist and get to a breakthrough because we had it. I had it on Earth with ridiculous divorce, which is not a choice. And then he had it with his divorce on Earth, and now we've had it in hell. We're in hell. We've accepted it, and you are dragging your feet dressed like Cleopatra.
Okay.
You are. And, and look, I think the first step to just sort of coming to terms with being in hell, guys, is to get back to what we know best, which is getting behind the mics and recording a podcast. So I think we need to do it.
Yeah.
I think we need to just...
Okay.
There are
I think-
mics in hell.
There are. Well, these...
Well, I mean, we're sitting in front of them.
Well, there's a lot of open mics in hell. There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of mics. In
Absolutely.
like hot mics, open mics.
Oh, yeah. You've got anywhere you go in hell, you have to go through at least 3 open mics.
It's weird. They're sort of
You
backdoor...
have to pull your name out of a hat
Yeah.
and get some time.
Yeah. And
in front-
you don't have to just go walk through them. You have to perform
have
at
to
3
perform.
open
And-
mics.
Well, the worst
And
part
these
is
are
cold.
you
and
show
no
up
material.
and they're packed.
They're packed.
And then by the time you go up, they're empty.
Well, and it's devastating because these are not venues that are good for comedy.
No.
These are busy coffee shops.
Busy
These
streets.
are side streets.
Side streets in hell.
Busy side streets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell funerals.
Hell funerals you have to go up at. You have to
That's
do
right.
5.
That's right.
And you don't get a ton of time to prepare. You're a lot of times you're surprised with your booking.
Absolutely. I went up at the Cry Factory the other night, and it was awful.
That, for people that don't know, that is the Cheesecake Factory in hell.
Yes.
The menu's huge,
Uh-huh.
and it's devastating. They're playing all your worst moments from Earth.
Yeah, it's
while
like-
people in all white, dirty all white
Dirty
shoes
whites. Dirty whites. It's
Serve
a
you-
hellish nightmare.
Same menu.
Same menu. The avocado egg rolls, they do give you an order of avocado egg rolls if you're going up, which
Yes,
is nice.
that is
nice.
very nice.
But I
Right
had-
before you go.
Right before you
To
go.
take
So
up
you go
with
up
you.
stuffed. And I had to follow Dane Cook. And
Wow.
And that is the chef?
yes. Yes. The
It is
chef-
not-
Dane, comma cook.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not the famous Dane.
No, he's still
No,
alive
no,
and
no,
well
no.
on Earth. He's not
Yeah.
down here.
No, he's a demon, right? Dane Comicook?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Well, his devil's food cake is delicious.
Well, look.
I
Well,
will
you know
say
he
his-
got sued for that, right? You know who showed up and sued him? The person we thought, when we were in denial, was Jesus.
That's Satan.
When
Well,
we first got there, we learned it's Satan. We were
Another
trying.
crazy thing about hell is Satan is litigious.
Well, when I
Very
was in
litigious.
denial, I thought that was Tutankhamun.
Who is that again?
Tutankhamun is an old
Egyptian.
pharaoh that I used to
Also
know.
known as King Tut.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Steve
no.
Martin did a send up of him.
What a send up.
You know, that Steve Martin thing pissed me off. Not very
Really?
accurate.
Hang
A
on,
little
guys.
appropriation, right?
A little appropriation.
Guys.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Your hat's too small,
This is a big stop. What's going
As
on?
on Earth, so is in hell, is what I'll say.
so it
Can
is
you
that
do
your
that
hat's
smoother?
too small.
No, it's
Yes.
as on Earth, so it is in hell.
You're
guys.
cutting off the circulation to your face. Your hat's too small.
It's not.
Yeah, maybe it's because your hair has gotten so long it's tighter.
No,
underneath
that's
the
not.
cap.
That's not the problem, guys.
Cranial swelling.
I know. Listen, I know
Glass
that
is too big.
Are you eating a lot of salt?
I'm not
You look
eating a lot of
swollen.
salt, guys. I'm only eating lettuce.
2 big glasses.
Guys, I know this equipment looks new, and you're probably all thinking, we got it under control, but we've been recording this.
Fuck.
Just another layer of
I
hell.
thought for sure that I would have it this time around.
You
I
would
was
think in the
focused on it.
afterlife, you would be crystal clear and not making the same mistakes.
The problem is in hell. I think they set me up for failure here. I think the buttons aren't labeled right.
Oh, shut up.
It's-
It's
no, it's
always
'cause
someone
it's hell.
else's
It's
fault.
'cause we're in hell.
I didn't think waiting in the Nile could get any worse than this. Could get any worse.
We're not in denial.
I
What?
don't
You
know.
are in denial.
You are in
You
denial.
are in
I'm
the first stage
denial.
of grief. You're
Look at my golden hair. I'm wearing
You
one of those
can
golden hair.
Listen,
pieces.
you went to the costume store, which there's so many costume stores down here. There's so
Big costume is running this. Place.
and they're mislabeled. Sometimes you're like trying to get a bite to eat, and when you walk in, they're like tricked you all wigs and sketch costumes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
damn it!
I ordered a hamburger from one the other day, and it was a bun with a sexy nurse costume in between the two buns.
Well, see,
And how
now
was
that's crazy. Because they're really going for that
They
trick.
tricked
Real
me.
bun.
Yeah.
Not fake
Yeah, when I
plastic
said
bun.
it's too crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we're recording this whole time. So,
Well, shit. I mean, you can't blame it on this is top quality mics and
are great
recording
mics.
devices.
Yeah. Well-
We are across the we were at Hell's orientation.
yeah. Well, I mean, before we get into it, I think we should remind people that you are listening to the Teacher's Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
This used to be the podcast that was for
Who cares?
issues pertaining to.
Who
dead.
cares?
Honestly, who cares? Because we're in hell now, and things have
Sam.
changed.
Have you guys stopped caring about everything?
I've never been more anxious.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, you
Yeah.
would think that you would fully give up, but there's something about this air down here that increases your anxiety, really makes you stress.
Oh, yeah.
always feel late down here is an interesting thing.
Yeah, the thing is, on Earth, I always was late, but I didn't care. And now I always feel late no matter what.
Yeah,
It's
you're
weird.
rushing.
You care now.
Yeah, and but
Yeah.
I think that there's weird magic at play because I've walked into places looking at my watch and it says I got 5 minutes to go. I walk through the door and that hand jumps 15 minutes into the future and I'm 10
Yeah, and
minutes late.
everybody's looking at you
All of 'em.
tapping their wrists.
Oh,
tapping
yeah.
their wrists.
I've noticed that being in the Nile, for the first time, I care about stuff, and it's really affecting how I feel. It's really making me unhappy. Usually, I used to go through life, do whatever I wanted, and not really react to the world around me. But now I'm devastated at who I am.
Well, we should do a quick intro. This
Yeah.
is the Teacher's Lounge. If you're listening for the first time ever, we did 7 seasons on Earth, and we're
Yeah.
now we're in hell. We were murdered by the lunatic in the lighthouse.
Yes, in front of the school book depository.
He buried us 8 feet underground.
I didn't realize this when that was happening, but it was a lot like JFK's assassination. I
was.
did not realize
It
that
was.
After seeing the video, they were very similar.
There was a part,
the our Zapruder film is
the Zapruder film.
Zapruder film, which is what they're calling it, is, and we're getting our own museum, right?
Yeah.
in Dallas.
Yeah, they're putting up a museum that's in what's the opposite of in memoriam?
Yeah, it's celebrating the killer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's for the lunatic in the lighthouse. It's his memorabilia. It's and then
it's
just
gonna
a
be more
small
like
picture of us.
It's going to be more like a presidential library than a...
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's
there's
happy.
a lot of scholarly books about they invented a word for feeling joy at the death of somebody.
Yeah.
It's like a Germanish word.
Yeah, Ari Heil.
Ari Heil?
Ari Heil.
Ari Heil.
But we're unfortunately in hell now. We're recording out of the We Work in Hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked across the street. We blew off the orientation. That shit was boring.
And can I
Who
say-
was leading that?
Oh, God,
McCain?
I have no idea. Yeah, I think that was McCain. McCain, once again, I don't like listening to that.
I also don't like that he started going by his last name.
No.
Oh, he is.
Oh,
it's like
He's got
like,
a whole bad boy style.
He's doing
Yeah.
he really leaned into the Maverick thing.
Yeah, he did.
It's like as on earth, so in hell. We're surprised.
McCain.
We're surprised to see you in hell, McCain. And he said, "I'm not." But yeah, he also leads that into that orientation with like way too much energy, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's way more important than anyone that's a part of it feels like it is.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, guys! If you don't listen now, you're not going to understand later.
And it's so silly. I mean, what is there to understand? We are destined to eternal damnation. I don't need somebody to remind me how everything works down
Yeah.
here, okay? I've learned everything by experience so far.
I was buying into it early on when they were passing out the T-shirts. I was like, "This could be fun if I get in the mind. If I just accept this, it might be fun."
Right.
But those
But I
t-shirts-
hated those tees.
They were so big on us.
Yeah.
They it's like get different sizes. Don't get a bunch of triple XLs.
Yeah, and they were clever.
Oh,
These T-shirts were clever.
They thought they were clever.
yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
I wasn't minding the tour so much when they weren't talking to us and we could sort of talk to our fellow hellmates and meet who
Yeah.
we're going to be down here with.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then when they stopped and got us into the multi-purpose area and just started talking at us.
Yeah, that was boring. So we walked across the street to a WeWork. If you guys aren't familiar with WeWorks, they are cool shared spaces.
They're very
to
cool.
do work.
They're for
in
young,
inner
annoying
cities.
millennials to do whatever they want while they pretend to work with their dog.
Yeah, there's tons of dogs in here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dogs with no collars on them.
Yeah.
And if you aren't, I do a big show of it thinking the dog is cute, so everyone knows
You're
that I'm
likable.
a likable man. Oh, who is this?
Yeah, you keep trying it to use people to hook up with.
Yeah.
But it feels false on you, Todd.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it hasn't worked. That's for sure.
Well, everyone can tell that you don't like animals.
I've had dogs I've been like carrying them by the scruff because it's how their mothers do it. It's how their mothers do
But
it. It's
not
how
with
their-
your
mother,
teeth. Not with your teeth, Todd.
Also, it's not other people. You're doing it to other people's dogs.
It's how their mothers do it.
and
it's
you
how
keep
dogs are
putting them
most
in the
comfortable.
corner and then trying to breastfeed them?
Yeah, I'm just hey. As on earth, so in hell. I'm trying to get laid down here. So, I'm walking around. I'm parenting dogs.
How was your date last night?
It was a top to bottom disaster.
Really?
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
So you bottomed.
Yeah.
You went from top to bottom.
I went from top to bottom. I came in thinking I was a top, and I left a bottom.
This isn't bad.
Well, it was fine. It's just, when someone else doesn't have chemistry with you,
I hate that.
like you're doing
hate that.
everything right, and
Right.
they're just not there, And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, dating is hell. You know what I mean?
Were they doing that thing where every time you said something, they just stare at you blankly, not knowing anything about what you said?
Right. Yeah.
So rude.
Well, because the thing is, they were saying something and they were wrong about it. They were talking about politics and they were wrong. So I was kind of jumping in and explaining
Liberals?
to them. Well, yeah, I'm a libertarian. I'm a Bill Maher libertarian.
Right.
And so I was saying, like, no. Don't you understand? If you don't regulate anybody, everything's fine. I have no evidence of this, but I'll say it forever.
Yeah, of course.
And he kept trying to chime in, and I said, shush. Let me explain it to you. We just had no chemistry.
What a horrible
That's
date.
a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys went to a beautiful restaurant. Did that end up being a restaurant?
Well, it was beautiful in there, but I will say this: that my pumpkin costume burger was a little bit overcooked. Overcooked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how could you tell? Was singed or?
Oh, to a crisp.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a burnt pumpkin costume burger, and I
Oh
ordered
my God!
it.
You were in a costume shop.
I don't,
You were in a costume shop.
well, tell that
Todd.
to my sumo wrestler costume dessert.
I can't.
That's a big. Did it have a little fan on it?
What's that?
You ate that?
Yeah.
I heard you this morning. When you pooted this morning, it had a fan. It had a fan. And it was,
Yeah.
like,
to inflate the sumo wrestler
right.
costume.
That's what I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
little weird fan that's on your butt in the sumo costume.
Yeah, but that's my experience at hell. I do feel like I am a new me here a little bit.
I think we all kind of have to feel that way because this is the new normal.
It's a new normal.
This is the new normal.
Oh my gosh, this is our new normal.
Wow.
And if for all intents and purposes, this is our eternity. And that's the thing. I mean, the concept of infinity and eternity is something that's terrified me since the day I was born.
Really?
So the fact that
Because you always were hoping you would die and be dead forever.
I've never thought about it.
Like as a kid, even.
Yeah, who wants to continue on in this consciousness?
Yeah, I always hoped that, the lights go out and there's nothing there. But it turns out the lights don't go out. The scenery just changes.
Isn't that brutal? That you hated being alive so much that you were so scared that it would have to keep happening for eternity?
Yeah, that dying would still be living.
Yeah.
It was my biggest fear.
That makes me so sad for
And
you.
it's come true twice. And here's the thing.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing for
You
me.
knew this already.
Yeah, I did. I knew all this
You've
already.
been playing very coy down here in the Nile.
Well, I've been here before. Literally,
Really
I've been here
quickly,
before.
in 2 quick, succinct sentences, tell us how you died the first time and came back, and then you're here now and you died again?
The first time that I died, if I'm not mistaken, I had sex and my heart stopped.
That's right.
I died and came to hell or heaven. They're very similar if they're different. If I've been in 2 different places, but they seem very similar. But then I came back to life. Obviously, you guys did a seance and brought me back to life into
Right.
Stu Taylor's body, and then eventually I shed the cocoon of Stu Taylor's body, and became Howard again. But my insides were used to hide dynamite, and we blew up Baksan's wedding with my body, and I became just a severed head that I then attached to Arnold Schwarzenegger's body.
Right.
And then lived with that for a little while, and then I died again with you guys at the end of last season after camp.
2 perfect, succinct sentences.
Yeah. It's been hell.
Life has
Literally.
been tough on you.
Ups and downs for me. But honestly, I feel like there is like a little bit of me that just knows now what to expect from life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to grab it by the horns, and I'm going to try to make it best
when
of
we
it.
first got here, we were kind of walking around, and I do remember somebody saying, "Oh no, it's him," and running off, and
it was a woman with kind of your features, like an older version of you. With
That was my mom.
Really?
That was my mom. Yeah.
Oh my God! So you're telling me that this thing we have on Earth when that makes us feel better when someone dies. Oh, well, at least I'll see them in heaven. It happened to you, but the full opposite.
Yeah.
Your mom was in hell and she was avoiding you?
Yeah, and listen, I followed her. She
followed her?
I followed her. She
For how long?
well, you mean you guys? How long was I gone? Like a couple days.
Couple days.
Yeah, I followed her.
And was she with anyone?
She was.
Oh.
She was with someone.
What was happening?
I'll say he was not. He was
Younger or older?
quite a bit older.
Interesting. And
So
they
your
both look the
mom
same. They
is
both
with
look
an-
how
Your mom is with an older man in hell?
they both sort of look the same.
And
their
they're
bodies
avoiding
the
you?
same.
Yeah.
No, they both look very different.
From each other?
Well,
yeah.
it looks like she sought out something specific.
Did you recognize him?
I don't know.
Like he had some of your features. Maybe he was your dad.
Was he your dad?
That's the thing, guys.
What?
He wasn't my dad.
Oh, no, your mom's having an affair in hell?
My mom died. My dad's still alive, and she's having an affair with my dad in hell with an older man.
With an older man in
Yes.
hell.
Yeah.
And he's bragging about it.
Yeah. Well, here's the crazy thing. I finally caught up with my mom at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I sort of stood over to the side, waiting to make my move. She went
What
to the
move?
bathroom. She went just to say hello.
Okay, just making sure.
She went to the
I
bathroom.
wonder why she would avoid you.
You tried to
Not
hit
gonna
on
make
your
a-
mom.
I'm
You're
just
always
saying,
making moves.
she went to the bathroom, and her new friend came over to the bar and
Yeah.
said, "You see that hot piece of ass I'm with?"
Jesus!
And I said, "Listen, buddy, I don't want to hear this." And
Oh, so he confided in
he
you
confided in me, and he told me so
being
many.
misogynistic towards your mother?
Yes.
And I heard you went along with it because you're too scared to stand up to this man?
Yeah. I mean, for a little.
You added on.
That rumor has been going around hell.
Yeah, my hell stepdaddy forced me to be more misogynistic than I've
What
ever
did
been in
you
my whole life.
add?
He forced you to bro out with him about how hot your mom was,
Yes.
and you never spoke up about how
No.
she was your mom.
He said, "Don't you love how her shirt's so thin you can see her pokies?"
Oh, so he's misogynistic
Jesus.
and weird.
Yes.
And I said, "Oh yeah, you could cut ice with those things."
And then
Jesus.
he was getting so misogynistic that he was starting to get turned on to you because you look like her?
Howard.
Yeah.
Howard.
So anyway, I let him kiss me.
Wow!
Oh, Howard, this is devastating.
Oh, it's fine. I
This
worked
is
through it.
truly hell. That is
Your
a hellacious nightmare.
Yeah.
Who have you been texting?
Him.
Oh,
Well, I don't have the heart to say anything. He's
playing you?
he keeps saying
and
he.
his main squeeze is your mother?
Yeah,
And
he,
can I say, I've noticed you scratching a lot down below.
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
And we're not talking about the crabs you immediately get upon arrival.
No.
We're not talking about the hell crab.
No. Apparently, I've got a yeast infection.
Not what I was
Jesus.
thinking, but also unpleasant.
Jesus, Howard.
Howard, this is bad for you. This is
know
really
what,
Howard,
bad.
this is
accepted it.
toxic. This is toxic,
I've
Howard.
accepted it.
Hey,
and
as on earth, so
as
in
on
hell.
earth, so in hell. I'm gonna take the curveballs that God or the devil has thrown at me, and
You
I
have
am gonna
curved
knock
balls?
him. Well, that's the thing.
Oh, I did see you once when you were drying off when you got out of the shower, and I swung.
And you knocked
And
it out
I
of the park.
riffed it.
God, you whiffed.
I whiffed.
Well,
I'll
you
say
thought
this.
you knew where they were going to be exactly.
And all of a sudden, in comes an umpire from nowhere and says, "You're out of here."
Yeah.
But if anyone hasn't seen it, definitely go online and check out Babe Ruth Called It, and he knocked your curveballs. I mean, they went
Yes.
flying.
Babes
Just
down
search
here.
Babe Ruth Called It, and
Yes.
you'll find it.
You'll find it's a video of Babe Ruth
Of
in
course,
hell.
it's got. You have to go to
like just knocking it out of the
You have
park.
to go to http://HELL.youtube.com. It's
Right.
hell
Yes.
YouTube. It's
Yeah.
different.
And
Well-
you, when your balls were hit out of the park, were caught by a young boy, and then a man stole it from the young boy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that went viral.
That went viral.
It was a young Native American boy caught it,
Uh-huh.
and he was punched by a middle-aged white man, and they took the ball away from him.
Jesus.
Hell is the same as Earth.
Wow.
That sounds very similar to
Yeah.
Earth.
That's the same
Yeah.
situation that I-
I did not know Earth.
It seems to me like we are all experiencing different stages of grief.
Mm-hmm.
We've
I'm
got-
definitely an acceptance.
We've got you in
You are.
acceptance.
Yes.
And
Howard.
participants,
And, acceptance and participants. Yeah.
which is not a stage. You're doubling down
Yeah,
on
you
your
created
grief.
a new stage of grief. Sam is clearly in denial.
It must be so tough for you guys to be in stages of
Oh,
grief right
fuck,
now.
Sam.
Well, I'm on your side. I just feel like I'm the strong one right now, and if you need a shoulder to lean on, it's me. That's the
Okay.
saying.
All right.
What stage are you in, Todd?
Well, what else is there? There's anger, which
That's kind of perpetual.
yeah.
for you.
I guess I was grieving for 120 years, or 75. Looked
Yeah,
120.
well, we all went through that stage. We got in the ring early here in hell and thought we could box and got the shit beat out of us. We were looking for a place to put that anger.
Yeah. They said we could box anyone of our choice, and we all said Butterbean.
Yeah.
We all in unison said Butterbean.
And boy,
Absolutely
did we
Butterbean.
get pummeled.
We got pummeled by Butterbean. It was-
Butterbean is bigger and less in shape than he was on Earth down here, by
But
the
the
way.
punching strength is still there.
It's and it was crazy when they asked me that because it was as if I had been thinking about that question my whole life and
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
even know it. I answered so quickly.
I'd been thinking about it since the day I saw him knock out Knoxville.
Yes.
I was like, I'd love to. I would
Yes.
love to have the opportunity to fight this man.
So
Yeah.
after Butterbean pummeled us,
Yeah.
we couldn't go down losers, so we had to challenge someone else to a boxing fight.
Right.
You know, I challenged Louis C.K. I know he's been boxing to burn off some steam,
Yeah.
and well, he kicked the shit out of me.
He did kick
Yeah,
the shit out of
he
you.
beat you
Yeah,
bad.
and he got right when he walked out. He got a standing ovation too.
That's right.
Before he even started kicking the shit out of you.
Yeah, it took a
Everyone-
long time for them to sit down.
It was as if he had like come back from a USO tour. Everyone was just like, "Ah!" like so happy to see him in hell.
Unbelievable.
Everyone in hell was very excited that Louis back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
they
That's
love
right.
it.
Yeah. So then it was like, all right, we got to do something a little easier. So of course, in unison, Vern Troyer. We also.
And boy, did we pummel him.
We did win that. Back to back to back to back fights for Vern.
the ref gave him a standing 10 count. He got
They
back
kept
up.
introducing new fighter after new fighter, and we would kick the shit out of him.
Then after the orientation, one of the parts of hell that you don't know is going to happen is they force you to watch your own funeral.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a humbling
Oh,
experience.
my
They say.
God.
It seems like they only do it for people who had bad funerals too. Because I mean, there are some
Yeah.
good people who had great funerals.
Yeah, at the beginning of orientation, they give you a thumb drive with your funeral.
Well, you
on
can
it.
choose. It can be a thumb drive, or you can do a FTP. You can do a
You can
direct
get some-
download from
you can do a WeTransfer.
Hellbox. You can do a WeTransfer.
Yeah, you can do
But whatever-
LimeWire.
Which Bear Share,
Soulseek.
So I
Morpheus.
chose
Farmers Only.
I chose BearShare,
BlackPeopleMeet.com.
and it's sandwiched in between a mine also I think has a Mystical album on it.
Yeah. Well, I downloaded 4 different ones. I got a mystical album. I got a cover of Gin and Juice by a late '90s punk band.
Yeah. The AT Aliens cover Outcast without the titties showing.
But the thing is, no matter which one you use, you have an account already. You have a password, but you don't remember what it is. And so to get the video, you have to enter like 10 different passwords.
Yeah,
and then you get a new one.
It's so hard. You have to answer all these. What was your mother's maiden name? And
Yeah.
it's like, how do I know?
I don't even know my mom's name.
Yeah.
Then you got to do
I don't even know my mom's
password.
first name.
You got to do password recovery and
Yeah.
deal with all this email. My emails are never going through. I'm getting stuff back from this mailer demon all the time.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
He brings stuff to my front door.
Yeah, the
Mailer
mailer demon. The mailer demon is one of the personalities of hell, I'll say.
He is here, and he
Well, he's having fun with his job.
Yeah.
He comes
He's
in
leaning
and he
in.
goes, hey, guess what? They're not that anymore. He always says, you've gotten the wrong address.
He'll come by. Instead, on Earth, mailmen are scared of dogs. He comes to your house with a scary dog.
Yes,
and
yeah.
he sicks it on you.
Yeah, he drives on his. It's just a regular car. Doesn't have the seat on the right.
He
But
walks right into your house and puts your mail on your desk.
Yeah, he wears short shorts on his head.
This guy's bad.
Not blue, obviously opposite of blue, which is
loud.
Loud clothes.
The opposite of blue is loud.
So, but once we recovered it all, they forced us to watch our funeral.
And we made a night of it. You know, we all figured, hey, let's
Yeah.
just sit down and we'll go through this together. If you got to do something bad, you might as well do it with your buddies, right? So we all
Yeah.
sat down and watched each other's funerals.
Yeah, we had some hard corn kernels.
Yeah, and it was enlightening, to say the least. I would say for all of us, really saw what we meant to people on Earth.
Well, yeah, for my funeral, the last thing in my will was I requested the guy that held Ariana Grande in a very weird way at Aretha Franklin's funeral. I said that this guy's got to perform the service for me.
And how'd that go?
Well, as we saw watching the funeral, he did that to my body. He was kind of hugging my body with his hand right under my
underneath.
pectoral, kind
Yeah,
of squeezing a bunch. And it made me feel very like gross. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
And obviously all your ex-wives showed up.
Yeah, well, they showed up for, this was not in my will, but they showed up for the ceremonial spitting on the body. Which I didn't know they could do stuff that wasn't in your will.
Sort of an impromptu.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Is one of them got up and spit on
Yeah.
the body.
Well, most of your will was rules for your funeral.
Yeah, not who you bequeath to or who gets your stuff.
And
your house.
we've gone over some of this in the past.
Yes,
Your
we've listened to some
funeral
of my
writer.
will. Yeah, my funeral writer. But yeah, my whole will, and then I like my video will is more rules for my funeral, and then. They didn't follow the rules, and that was upsetting to watch. I was happy to see that my daughter came.
Really? That's
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, she couldn't muster some fucking tears for me.
Yeah, she
but-
was smiling and giggling a lot.
Yeah, it was a giggly funeral.
What do you think was so funny? Because I didn't get it being down here.
Watching it, I finally understood that very poetic line from the Bare Naked Ladies. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what you mean. You soon will.
Wow.
And I soon did.
Okay.
If you deconstruct the Bare Naked Ladies, I mean, there is some deep stuff in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Chickadee China.
Have
the
you guys tried
Chinese
the Chinese chicken, by the way?
It's really good. It's
You have
really
a drumstick, your brain stops ticking.
It's been 1 week, you know?
But so yeah, everyone was kind of giggling at my funeral, and then all of the eulogies were, I would say, terse and short. And then I asked for a big New Orleans style jazz band,
Right.
and they got a middle school jazz band to come in.
New jazz band.
Very new kids who clearly socially their parents were like, we cannot figure you out, maybe this will be the thing,
Right.
It's also a big class, so they can't really do just jazz. There was a guy with a steel drum there.
there was a
which kinda
steel
threw it
drum
off.
in there. Yeah, there was an electric guitar. They played the Green Day song "Time of Your Life," but just the "Good Riddance" part. So they kept saying, "This is Green Day's Good Riddance." So it was really tough to watch.
Yeah, that's hard.
That is tough.
Yeah, I mean, I hated mine too. I mean, it would cut in and out, obviously, with mystical lyrics. At one point my mom was about to give a speech, and then I just heard, "Put a wet towel up under the door," which I think is a song from something about smoking weed inside. You put a towel under the door of the hotel. So
Well, the shocking thing was that this Mystical was at your funeral.
that
Along with
was
Silk
shocking.
Shaka.
Yeah.
It was crazy because I requested John Mayer to come and do a instrumental.
And this was in your will. You requested John Mayer to be at your funeral.
Yeah, because I wanted to do what MJ did and have John Mayer there and choo.
Shimon!
And I also requested
instrumental.
I wanted him to play an instrumental. I don't. He didn't show, but Mystical was there.
There was like there's a long list you go down when it's like, okay, we couldn't get John Mayer. Who's next? Maybe Ben Harper, Ben Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Ben Folds.
it's
Ben
weird.
Folds.
There was this long list, and at the very end it said, "Is Pepsi okay?" And there was just a Pepsi there. It was a glass of Pepsi.
And they had the Pepsi be the main speaker.
Main speaker.
And he said almost nothing.
Yeah, well, he said a lot of.
Well, yeah. Luckily, he had some what's it called? Fizz left in him, so there was a little bit of noise. I hated the photo they chose that was next to my body. That was devastating.
Yeah, that was you on a fishing trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You took you took a
and that's
picture.
one where that's the only one where I didn't catch a lot of fish. I catch so much fish.
You were holding up a boot on a string.
Oh my God. It's my worst fishing trip. Just so everyone knows, I'm a man and I catch a lot of fish and I take pictures with them when I catch them and I don't release them and I keep them all and then I freeze the meat and let it go bad in the freezer. And then I throw it out once every 5 years. I'm saying, this is nasty.
What you'll do is you'll take some pictures on that trip and you'll tag every friend on Facebook.
Oh my
you'll
God!
Post it and you'll tag everyone and be like, another 4-pounder.
Yeah,
and everyone's
and then
like, it's not that big.
Yeah, I tag everyone, and I also do ads for skin creams. I do codes for skin creams.
Yeah, I noticed.
And
Sort
all
of a
that
two-prong for you.
And I was hoping posthumously the skin cream company I work for would not have showed up to the funeral and made it a sell opportunity.
Well,
but boy, did they.
They ended up using the photo of you with the boot as an ad because I guess you were using the cream on that trip and your face didn't get windburnt.
I was using the cream and it was not on my face. If you know what I mean.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you were using the cream for something a little more nefarious.
Yeah.
Your coffee.
My coffee.
Your
I was putting cream, face cream in my coffee.
Yeah, well, people will say, how do you take your coffee? And you say 2 sugars and face cream.
And they go, what? And I say, 2 sugars and face cream.
Yeah. And have you ever had that served to you properly?
Once at a Keel's that I had at gunpoint.
Well, you went to the Keels right next to the Nespresso at the
Yes.
Americana.
And I busted a hole in the wall and I said, give me both. And
And DeVito was there?
DeVito was there? Yeah, DeVito was there. Why was he there?
Well, he does Nespresso ads.
Oh,
and
yes.
He goes to the store for some reason to pick up his residuals.
Well, he gets paid in espresso.
He gets paid in the pod.
Part of his deal was I'll take pods only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I heard
jacked
that
up.
DeVito is only working for food these days. it's like
Yeah, well, I saw him with that "Will work for food" sign.
Yes, yes.
I think
We'll
a lot
only
of
work for
celebrities,
free time.
a lot of celebrities are going that direction these days.
Well,
Yeah.
I think DeVito did Matilda for 3 burritos and a delicious steak.
And
Because he says
I
it's
heard,
mostly for the art.
yeah, and I also heard he did get a piece of that prop chocolate cake that crazy fat kid eats in,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also,
Eat it all.
little known fact: the Trunchbull's down here. The Trunchbull's here, and will grab you at any moment by the top of your shirt and swing you around like a shot put and sling you so far.
And all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to read.
That's all we're trying to do.
That's
We're
it.
reading. We're reading.
But
Sam, I thought your funeral actually, honestly, of all of ours, really it felt like it hit all the beats of your life pretty well.
Really?
It
Yeah.
was pretty.
Well-
yeah, the structure was there.
And I'll
It was
say,
a very well structured.
Structurally, I agree.
My notes are on some of the other stuff, but structurally, you're
Yeah.
where you need to
Sound.
be.
I'll say
You're where you need to be.
it was a hilarious coincidence that the hearse crashed through the front of the church at the beginning because
Right.
it felt so much like that Sam.
I know.
Well,
he
you-
crashed through the front of the church in the hearse.
You were behind the wheel of the hearse, right? They did put your body behind the wheel.
Correct. And they said it was the closest I've ever been to not having an accident.
yeah, because you
He said it
were
was the
pretty
closest I've
unscathed
ever
the
been.
whole way.
Pretty
Better
unscathed.
driver dead in a casket than alive.
That's right. That's right.
They said the only reason you crashed through is because you came to life briefly.
yeah.
And I got nervous.
Took control and got nervous.
Yes.
And crashed and died again.
And died, and the casket shut me right back in there. Yeah, it was tough. I will say, structurally, the funeral was perfect. Taste-wise, it was a little off.
Yeah.
Right? The
Yeah.
structure was good.
It was
Well, with that, I mean, you have famously bad taste.
Huh?
Never mind.
I feel like I'm pretty responsible. And
yeah.
nice.
It's just
Well,
right now you're sitting in Egyptian queen garb.
well, this is for me. This is for me. It's
Right.
It's when you see something that you like, you take it. And
Oh,
make
so
it
you
yours.
stole that?
Yeah.
Oh
Listen, I know
yeah,
I'm
another
in
thing.
hell.
Another thing about hell. When you pay for stuff, you don't use money. You use wet money.
Yeah.
You use wet money.
That's right. It's the only thing that's accepted. It's like a visa. It's accepted everywhere.
They still use money, but it has to be wet.
It's got to be soaking.
Every barista has a little bowl of water right next to the thing so you can dunk your cash in there. If
it's
it
not wet
didn't
enough.
come prepared with
Yeah.
that money.
I say, Sam, I thought it was very surprising how many people showed up to speak at your funeral because obviously
Yeah.
when
You
you were
object.
yeah, well, I was going to say it almost read more like a sort of the
Yes.
sentencing hearing of a criminal, where it was
Yeah.
people just
Right.
saying all the terrible things that you had done to them and how they're glad you're dead and they wish they could do worse.
And it definitely had the energy of an angry town hall.
Oh,
like
yeah.
everybody in the audience
It was
had been
a little out of
wronged, and there was
control.
like, why is this ditch here? There were some just straight up infrastructure questions.
Yeah, they were protesting that I was being buried in everybody's favorite park. Because that was in my will, that I
yeah.
wanted to be buried in the happiest place in town.
Right, you want to be floated in the fun pond in Central Park,
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the
Flooded.
boats, couples, and my corpse.
and you want pedals.
Yeah.
Correct? In your casket?
Yeah, I
You
want
want it to
them-
be a functioning boat.
I want them to install pedals between my knees so that somebody can ride me around the boat and have a romantic
And
experience.
the thing is, everyone thinks it's going to be cute, and then they pay a little too much and get bored quickly.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
like, they're peddling your ribs, and they're like, how much longer do we want to do this?
I know. I'll tell you, it's not fun for me either. I get fucking bored out there. I'm dead and bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Your corpse is just floating around in that dirty water.
But my funeral was sad. It was, I thought I had.
But not the good kind of sad. Not like everyone's mourning you.
No. They were happy. I was sad.
Sad like a bummer.
I thought that I had helped out a lot of people. I was a mental health professional at the school. You know what I mean? I was in the art world.
yeah, it turns
I was
out
a
you had
chef.
just scarred all those people.
I guess so. Yeah, there was a lot of scarred faces from when I blew up the cafeteria that they were in, and they came and said that they'll never forgive me, but they're happy and jovial that I'm dead.
yeah, and
Yeah,
one
they were
student-
there to kind of like, your funeral was the last stop of them being healthy again.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, they finally got closure. A lot of people
one,
said
that's
when
what
I
it
died.
one student even went as far as to say the big nightmare is over.
Right.
yeah.
That makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a huge thunderous applause, and I was like, did Louis just walk on? But no. But no, that was on Earth. Never mind.
Yes.
But then obviously my funeral was honestly short. And I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, what? Quick, it's Guinness screeched to a halt in the van.
Yeah.
And they said, we got another one.
And it seems like everyone there had the look of, oh, we've been through this before. We don't want to do this again. I had the same gravedigger this time as
Right.
the
Big
previous time I
truck.
died.
Big truck. Big monster truck.
Yeah, he dug my grave too.
And that's just a man who owns that monster truck gravedigger, and
Yes.
he's not very good at actually digging graves.
no, you could say he doesn't.
He steps on the brake and peels out until there's a hole in the ground from one of the big tires.
Right, Right, and it's just a circular hole, so
Right.
when you put your casket in it, it's way above the ground.
Yeah, well, this time my casket broke in half.
Oh, it broke in half like the Titanic.
my-
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It broke in half like the Titanic,
Yeah.
and then there were some people hanging off the edge of it, and somebody was playing a violin.
But that violinist kept going.
Yeah, he did.
And that was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Well, Billy Zane came to your funeral and was furious.
Which was nice of him.
Yeah.
But
What was he mad about? Zane?
Leo was trying to date Kate Winslet.
That's what he
He
was mad
showed
about.
up with a gun.
Yeah, he got confused, I guess. I
So
guess.
the real Leonardo DiCaprio, not Jack
No.
and Rose.
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio was trying to date. So they played that out in real life, is what you're saying, those actors.
I don't know what is happening, but it sounds like, they played out real life Titanic at Howard's funeral. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That clears it up.
They're
Jay-
Based on his casket breaking in the hole of the gravedigger's truck tire.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it broke in the opposite way of the Titanic, where the middle sunk and the two ends went up. And then they were like, this is just like Titanic. Billy Zane should show up.
Right. Okay. So anytime anything breaks, sort of like the Titanic, the real actors Leo, Kate, and Billy show up and fight.
Yeah, which is tough because in high school when you've got like a pencil, when kids are playing with a pencil and they put it between their middle finger and their
Yeah.
other fingers and they slam it against the table to break it in
Yeah.
half, they got to show up every time that happens.
Well,
if
they
the
showed up
pencil sinks.
in that CKY video when someone broke their skateboard in
Yes,
that
yeah, that's
skating.
right.
And then Leo and Kate show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a tough contract. It was before they were super big, so it's a tough contractual obligation.
You know how I like to eat mozzarella sticks, right? Break them down the middle and string out the cheese. Well, guess who showed up at BJ's Pizzeria the other day? Kate, Billy, Zane. No. Kate,
And
Leo,
Leo.
Billy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, BJ's are the same in hell.
Exactly the same Pazookies.
Everybody loves thick pizza down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quickest funeral ever.
How long was it?
Guinness
Did
was
Guinness
Guinness was
record
there.
it?
It was verified. It was 6 seconds long.
How is that even possible? How can people get in and leave in 6
Well, they
seconds?
airlift, dropped the casket, it
dry.
cracked in
Well,
half,
that's why
and it was
cracked.
over.
It was sort of pre-gamed. The whole thing was sort of set up as like a sort of Rube Goldberg situation
Yeah.
where Gravedigger was there. He dug the grave. He stood. He was on standby with a shovel. Helicopter.
Whatever, it
flew-
was a Rube Goldberg situation, but he was not there.
No, Rube
he
Goldberg
called it in.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg called it in.
No, he
this-
won't work on the Sabbath.
No.
And they did this in an arena. In an arena with a big dirt field in the middle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was the wherever the Mets play.
Oh, I see.
And then, we all got buried in New York. We got buried in Central Park.
Well, it was
where
the whole
Mets
Subway
play.
Series thing. A couple of us got buried at
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm underneath the Albon Pond in Port Authority, the bus station.
Yeah. And I am technically in New York. I'm in Los Angeles underneath the set of Seinfeld. But that's New York.
And I'm under
That
the,
is-
I'm
it was a
under the
character in the
Nathans
show.
in Coney.
Uh-huh.
In Coney Island, I'm buried under Nathan's, just where
And
I
is
wanted
that
to
the
be.
hot dog place?
No, Nathan's house. This
who's
boy
Nathan?
Just a little boy.
Lane?
Yeah, Nathan Lane, who I think is a little boy.
So they
That's
did-
a man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's a grown ass man.
Well, then why does he play all those characters with high voices and
Well,
he's
that's just
short?
his voice. He's just a smaller man with a very cool, interesting, charactery voice.
Okay, if you say so.
it's almost a ridiculous voice.
You saying
Huh?
he's choosing it?
Yeah.
Because
I
he's
didn't
a
know
big
he was
adult
part of the
man.
community.
Oh, yeah. I think after Birdcage came out, everyone was like, oh, Nathan Lane has ridiculous voice. And he kind of was like, oh, now do I have to announce it on talk shows?
Right.
It's tough that we had to define him that way just because he
Right.
played a ridiculous voice character.
Yeah.
You know, he
yeah.
can be whatever he wants. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I talk about it all the time. How I don't care, and he can do whatever he
I
wants.
don't care.
'cause
And I bring it up
who-
every time I see him.
yeah, because honestly, who
it's part
gives
of
a
it.
shit about your sexuality? Nobody gives a shit.
Sexuality?
I mean, voice.
Yeah, I hear you.
But one thing that I've really enjoyed about Hell is I got to actually talk to the devil about my play, My Conversations with the Devil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And he said he's never disagreed more with source material.
That's right. Yeah, he said, I don't usually disagree with source material. I usually have like an emotional opinion of it. He said, I disagreed with the way I was portrayed.
Well, but don't you
were
think he was a little
portrayed."
upset that he was passed over for the role? Like, don't you think it could have just been a little bit of selfishness from the devil?
That's what I suggested. I said, listen, Beelzebub, you're making this about yourself.
Right. Of course, we all call him Beelzebub.
Beelzebub,
Yeah.
Beel.
It's the only thing he'll respond to.
Bill or Z?
Zeeb.
Zeeb.
Bub.
LZ.
Devi. Beelzy.
Ilzub. But I was like, are you sure you're not just jealous I didn't give you the part because I'm a better actor than you?
Right.
And then he was like, hold the phone.
Right.
You're a better actor than me.
Yeah, he always says hold the phone.
Hold the phone. Stop the presses.
He says it like it's new. Like
And
he
he'll
made
go,
up the phrase.
yeah, and he'll go, as if.
You know, we were arguing, and I'm like, look, I'm a better actor than you. And he said, okay, talk to the hand.
Doesn't it seem like the only movie the devil's ever seen is Clueless?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he always is talking about rolling with his homies.
That's right.
Yes, yeah.
And that it's and everywhere is 20 minutes. He keeps saying everywhere is
Everywhere
20
in LA,
minutes.
yeah.
Everywhere is 20. It takes 20 minutes to get everywhere.
Which is not true in hell. Lots of traffic.
Hell is, there's traffic. I'll turn to someone in hell sometimes and I'll say, is this hell or are we on the 405 at 5 p.m.?
God, it's so hard to tell the
Everybody
difference.
says that. That's the number one used phrase in hell.
Yeah.
It's on there's magnets of it. It's a big phrase. It's very popular. It's kind of
Right.
like I'm
It's
loving it up on Earth.
Yeah. The most popular phrase on earth. I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Is this
Yeah.
traffic or hell?
So it's on one of our funny, clever shirts, actually.
Yes.
Traffic or hell, question mark.
Yeah.
But so that the Dell and I got into an act off. And that was,
Oh, yeah. And that was.
it was like a Step Up to the Streets dance-off thing, but we were doing monologues.
Yes. You both popped on black turtlenecks.
Yeah, we popped on black turtlenecks, and people, it's just kind of the opposite, though, because a bunch of people were gathered around and started leaving. It wasn't like a bunch of people.
I stayed. I got there a little early. There was the first 20 minutes was just you two exploring the space.
Yeah. Yeah, really feeling it out. There was a while where I was exploring what my characters led with.
Right.
Do I lead with my head? Do I lead with my chest? Do I lead with my sex? Which one is it? And so that was about 15 minutes of walking.
And then there was a 5-minute warning about how this show uses effects that could cause flare-ups in your epilepsy and uses practical effects that could cause
right. Well,
to distract from the acting.
Yes, all of my shows have distractions that have killed somebody. Then there was the 10-minute diabetes warning.
And how does that play out, a diabetes warning? Like, are you saying you're just confessing to having it, or?
Well, I'm warning people that I have diabetes and that a lot of watching me act requires spikes in blood sugar.
Well, and you had
or
the first
drops.
case of
contagious
diabetes.
diabetes.
Yeah.
So hold on.
I have diabetes.
diabetes, where we can all get it.
We
if
can
you
all
have
get it from me.
Yeah.
But you want the people watching you to have diabetes?
I don't want to. I'm warning them that it's going to happen.
it's possible.
Nobody
we have
wants to
diabetes.
spread tuberculosis, but you got to spit in the street, don't you?
Yeah.
So we've got 20 minutes exploring the space, 5-minute epilepsy warning, 10-minute diabetes warning, 30-minute jokes about don't unwrap your candies, don't turn off your cell phones, turn off your pagers. And by the way, if you got a pager, you better be a doctor. It's 2018.
And then after this long preamble, you guys had to re-explore the space a little bit.
Yeah, we had lost our connection to the space.
Hold on, John, let's go really quickly. You submit for jokes. You write jokes for spiels at the top of shows.
Oh yeah,
airplanes.
I do spiel jokes. I do.
Because
airplane
that
stuff.
pager joke was from one of your packets.
That's from my packet. Yeah, if you've read my packet, you'll recognize the pager joke. You'll probably recognize no flash photography. It scares the actors.
You wrote a couple jokes for the Jungle Cruise at Disney, right?
Yeah,
About the
yeah.
boat being on a track. And,
Yeah. A lot of those jokes they said were too insensitive for the 50s version of the Jungle Cruise. They were like, this wouldn't have flown when we started this ride.
Because it's already, a little, sometimes can get a little weird.
Yeah, I wrote all the jokes for the Tiki Room for any of the Hispanic characters in there.
Yeah, you were submitting for people that are not your nationality.
Yeah. So I do a lot of that. Where else do you hear this?
And then you write for Louis' real life.
I write for Louis. I've written all of Louis' Comeback Ignoring the Truth stand-up special. Yeah, any of his big Everything's Fine special, I wrote all the jokes for that. I was the one that said, do material about dating waitresses. We want to hear about it.
Yeah, you were adamant that it's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I think I said this before, but when all that happened, I emailed Dave Becky and I said, you're my guy. You know what? The way you intimidated victims, this is a guy that I want to side with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so he introduced me to Louis, and we're on the Monsters of Humanity tour together.
Who else is on that tour? It's you,
Roseanne.
Roseanne.
It's us, Roseanne.
Pol Pot?
What's a Pol Pot?
Also, the president of the Venezuela, who's been like,
Oh yeah.
Whatever his name is.
I won't know that guy's name, but I'm trying to think of who else we hate these days.
that Duterte, the guy, the
Duterte,
evil dictator who's killing people.
The
over
owner of the
drugs.
Clippers, right?
The last owner of the Clippers,
Donald
Sterling.
Sterling's got a great hour.
Yeah. Oh, Sterling's got a great.
Well, and he doesn't mind who comes to the shows. He doesn't mind who comes to the shows as long as you're not with the
as long as you're not with them,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's called Slumlordin' It.
That's right.
Is his special. You can actually check out my packet online. I post all of my auditions and packets on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I don't make them private. So
Right, yeah.
If
That's
you,
what
Yeah,
made
you
success.
always put out your unpolished material quickly.
Yeah.
And let people know you're working on something.
yeah, I do. Because if people don't know that you are bad, they never know that you could get good.
Right.
So if you want to see
That
me
tracks.
top lit, blown out in front of a white wall doing some of my material,
Yeah.
check it out.
And I'm posting all of my open mic stuff that I've been doing
Yes.
down here in Hell.
But it's also very cool, interesting to me that hell is basically just like a crappy version of Earth. All the things that exist up there exist down here. Like I was surprised to see that YouTube exists down here.
Oh, it started here.
Oh, I didn't
It got
realize
its
that.
start here. Yeah.
Yeah, hell is kind of
It's an incubator.
a tech incubator.
Well, this
yeah.
was sort of the first.
Well,
Silicon Valley.
it's hot enough to be an incubator.
That is
That's
true.
right.
That's another one from your packet.
Oh yeah, I did a packet for the hell orientation. All those jokes were me. Yeah.
What was your monologue? Not we got a little carried away with what you write jokes for. What about you and the Devil's Act Off?
Oh, yeah.
We should go back to that. No, I did a monologue. I did like what I would say a compilation of my favorite monologues.
Interesting.
It's called it's a little piece I put together called "Famous Women of Theater, Cinema, and Television," and it's me punching up some famous historical stuff. You know, I do Lady Macbeth the way I think it should be done, and then
You are not the victim here. You can't punch up.
or what do you mean?
Oh,
not punching up like that.
I see.
No.
Fixing their okay material.
Yeah, punching up like you would do at a writer's room, from what I
Right,
understand.
right.
My packets never really got picked up where I got put in a room, but I understand in a writer's room you would like punch up a joke.
Yeah, if you were like sneak into a writer's room unwanted or something.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I've never done.
We did sneak into Chicago Fire's writer room that one time together.
That's right.
Their writer room. It's one
writer.
guy.
It's one
That's a
guy.
writer room,
It's
it's
a
one guy.
man on fire. Yeah. It's a fire hydrant.
That's why that show is so visceral.
It's
A fire hydrant is writing Chicago Fire.
yeah,
Just so
and
everybody knows.
it is churning out great material. But so we went in and we pitched some other spin-offs, Chicago Sanitation.
Chicago Sanitation is there was some interest by the fire hydrant in Chicago Sanitation. It's just like Chicago Fire, except the characters are disgusting.
Chicago Kitchen.
Chicago Kitchen.
Chicago Kitchen.
Yep.
Chicago.
Chicago Pizza Kitchen.
That's
yeah.
right. Deeper.
Yeah, deeper
Dish Kitchen.
more cheese.
Yes.
What are other jobs? What are other jobs?
besides the cartoony ones you have where you want when you're a child?
Oh, Chicago Dog Catchers was pretty good.
Yes, which not what you think it is. It's about guys chasing down
Dog the Bounty
stolen
Hunter.
hot dogs.
Oh, okay. I thought this was the spinoff about the show that is called Charles the Dog Catcher, and he's trying to catch Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yes, that I've seen.
Yes,
Because he's hot on dog's tail.
He's a bounty hunter that someone hired to catch dog. And so you can see him in the background of some of the Dog the Bounty Hunter episodes, hunting dog.
hot on his trail.
Well, and this really blows open the whole Dog the Bounty Hunter thing. They found out he's got no license.
No,
he's
he's
not being asked to do this by
No.
anyone. He just looks like Hulk Hogan and feels like busting bad guys.
And it just happens to look like he's trying to catch someone, but he's just escaping from Charles the Dog Catcher.
That's right.
Well, and the craziest thing is the extra show with Scott Baio in charge of Charles, which is a man who is
Right.
like Charles is kind of his like adopted son, and he's responsible for him, and he always loses him, and he's got to find him and be in charge of Charles. So he'll
Yeah.
be in the background
It's crazy.
of a Charles
It's kind of a
dog hunter.
it's kind of a Russian doll show situation.
Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic Tuesday lineup here in hell on CBS.
That's right.
Right.
And
And
you
the
know,
one
right,
which is-
right before that, you can catch Baywatch, which is David Hasselhoff. Following, he's got to
Yeah.
make sure he's babysitting Scott
Yeah.
Baio, who is in charge of Charles, who
Yes.
is bounty hunting dog.
Yes, and then you can watch what happens, Lyle, which is a show about Lyle Lovett.
Watching Bayo
Bayo
watch.
watch. Yes, so it's all the shows run into
Wait,
each other.
if someone's saying to Lyle Lovett, watch what
Well,
happens,
he's very
Lyle.
easily
Yeah.
distracted, and
Yeah.
so he keeps looking around, and it's someone tapping him on the arm and going, well, "Lyle, watch what happens, Lyle," because he's constantly looking around, being like, "How did I blow it with Julia Roberts?"
Well, he's just so
He's
just so
contemplating.
glib and aloof.
He's looking in a mirror and seeing the reason staring him right back in the face.
Could it have been the way I look and am?
But just so everyone knows, we're having a terrible time down here, and I'm constantly going around and looking for the door out, like on
Well,
the Truman
we
Show.
could. Like,
Yes.
we should.
I keep driving little dinghies out into
we
the.
should say we did buy tickets for the seance line,
We
but it is
did.
backed up.
Backed up.
I mean, it looks like Splash Mountain, middle of the summer.
Well, I
It is
bought
like
tickets.
Silver Splash Mountain.
I bought tickets to us. You guys sent me down to the Madison.
Keep
Oh,
going.
the
You got
TKTS
it.
stand? or-
TKTS stand, and there was a guy off to the side.
You got
being like,
phonies.
I got phonies.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got tickets to the.
We got to the front of
I
the
got
line with these
G-Love
phonies.
tickets.
Yeah.
I ended up getting. I thought.
No
Well-
special sauce.
no.
Well, the special sauce went to heaven, and G-Love went to hell.
Well, all know rumors about the special sauce. It's just Thousand Island. It went to heaven, and G-Love's down here playing by himself, and let's just say it doesn't fill the room.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just G-Love
Well, not-
with an acoustic guitar.
Now, yeah, and he's tried some other stuff. He did G-Love and spicy mustard.
G-Love and Sriracha.
And
Mayo.
it's just not. It's good.
You gotta have the special sauce.
Then we
But I
pretended.
did choose G-Love when I was you, and they were bad.
Wet.
Yeah,
A wet
Little too
shell.
runny.
salty.
So then we tried Fast Pass, but even the Fast Pass line is long. It's
Yeah.
like what am I paying?
Well, you got to
extra for
think
this?
we got billions of people down here all trying to get back up there to Earth, and so, I mean, I think we're trying to figure it out. We don't want to be in hell forever. We feel like we have a lot of unfinished business
right.
up there on Earth.
Well,
guys
and
gotta do-
yesterday I grabbed FDR and I was like, my friend should get to the front of the line here. My friend should get to the front of the line.
Oh
He's in
yeah,
a wheelchair.
we all showed up in old timey
Yeah.
wheelchairs with blankets on our laps
I
with
kicked
FDR.
Christopher Reeve out of his, and I rolled up there by myself.
Which was not necessary.
no, didn't need to.
Nah.
We
Could've
all
used
just
it.
had wheelchairs and blankets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
That was more of a beef you got with Christopher Reeve.
Of course I do. Honestly.
Yeah, you kept saying I side with the horse.
Yeah.
Who's the Superman now, you said?
You showed him your side with horse
You
tattoo.
guys saw the way he treated that horse.
No, I mean,
Riding it.
Yes.
Your problem was
He
that
is-
his foot kicked the horse on the way down?
Yeah, we don't have we as human beings don't have the right to try to control the way other animals act, okay? You can't tame a wild beast, and the fact that people think that they can sit on the back of those horses and ride them around and kick them and make them go faster. Teach them how to
Oh,
dance.
those horses
I
are
still
It's
think-
bullshit.
I think this is all like part of your ploy. You were trying to get people to ride you around. You were like,
This
hey, if you could ride a horse, you can ride a man. And you did that bad Uber for humans.
Now that I take offense to you calling that bad. I take severe offense.
Really?
Yes, I thought it went well for the few times that
I thought it was terrible. Any Horman, which also
that's
the
what I
bad
call
man.
it. No,
Bad man.
It's part horse, part man. I was a whoreman.
It's centaur. Say
Well,
centaur.
No, that implies there's like a mythological purpose here.
I
No,
booked-
I'm
you're
just a
just a
whore man.
dumb guy.
No, I'm
I
a whore
booked
man.
you to give me a rim job, and you showed up trying to give me a ride. I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah. Oh, this is horseman, not men who are whores.
Another rim job mix-up.
Yeah. What was the other one? Someone came and fixed your basketball hoop.
Yes. And then Exhibit showed up and pimped my ride and put
Right.
rims on it. And I was full spread ass out in the front yard.
The craziest one
in the
was
front
when
yard.
Yeah, I sit on my front yard while I'm waiting for rim jobs.
Yeah, you're face down.
now the
Face down, towel over my head. Nobody knows me. I'm anonymous.
Nobody knows who you are. It's you on your front lawn.
Nobody knows who
who
I am. I'm wearing my family reunion
Well-
T-shirt.
Also, you have your name written on the bottom of your shoes.
I don't want to lose my shoes, so I got my name written on it. And I got my ass spread on my front yard, and nobody knows who I am.
That
Also-
T-shirt is beautiful.
Also, I don't not mean to remind you, but one night you got drunk and you got Bill's hole tattooed on your butt.
Yes.
No, I thought that said billfold. I thought I was trying to get some
Do
type
you
of
keep
wallet.
your money in there?
I was trying to do a wallet pun. I
mean,
don't really know.
it is in your over your right butt cheek, where I assume your wallet does sit when you're wearing jeans.
Oh, that
Bill-
makes sense
Bill's
because
fold.
your name is Bill.
Yeah, it was
It's
supposed to be
Bill's fold.
clever. It was supposed to be clever, but I got it right on my
But
hole.
instead, it just outs you when you're trying to get a private.
Well, there was
a
an
secret
earthquake in
window.
the tattoo parlor.
What is that?
There was an earthquake at the tattoo
It was
parlor.
isolated to just the tattoo parlor.
No,
That's what
well,
the guy told you, but you weren't
Well,
shaking
yeah,
it around.
you should have seen.
Well, he
Dave
was-
Grohl got shook around, and me, Dave Grohl, and Carmen Electra's husband,
Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro. That's who I was looking
Wow.
You
at.
and the Daves.
Me and the three Daves, Dave
Daves.
Grohl,
And the
Dave
tattoo
Navarro, and the guy from Wendy's.
Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas were getting tattoos in a spot earthquake. Anyway, we're trying to get the hell out of here. You should put that in your packet.
Oh, trying to get the hell out of here.
yeah.
That's
You
good.
know-
I'm going to steal that joke.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
No
We're-
problem,
we are-
Dane Comic-Cook.
We are going to try. Our goal here is to get out of hell.
Yeah.
However, whatever means necessary. I mean, we don't know exactly what the protocol is, but
Yeah. If anyone knows where the door to hell is, tweet at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at Teachers Lounge _hell _Twitter _hell.
_ too long.
Yeah.
And 2 is spelled TOO.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We're keeping our hopes up. We're still plugging away. We're resigned to the fact that maybe this is our new normal.
Yeah, no normal,
Could
no
be.
normal.
Hell is our new normal, but hopefully not. We'll hopefully get back up there and cause some hell on earth, if you know what I
That's
mean.
true.
I'll
Sometimes-
say-
yeah, go ahead.
I think we were going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
On Earth, it feels like it's already hell up there. Sometimes.
That's true. I don't
You
even
see
know
that
why
up
we
there?
want to go back.
Like the global warming is happening up there.
This feels different, but not that much
It's
worse.
hotter up there than it is down here.
It's hotter out there than it is at hell. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you stay down here. I don't know. We'll see.
I
There's
mean,
more ice caps down here for crying out loud.
Oh, that's right. If you go to the hat store, they give you an ice cap. So you're walking around with a stylish hat, but you're freezing cold all the time.
And what a good business model. I mean, I'm going back in there every goddamn day after my hat melts.
it melts so fast in hell.
There's a polar bear on it, too, dying.
You know,
It's a day
we appreciate everybody sticking
Yeah.
with us on this journey. I mean, hell was unexpected, but we're trying to make the best of it.
Hey,
and
send
we're-
us a postcard.
Yeah, if you can, send us a postcard down here. Just label it "The Teachers at Hell."
Yeah, you might as well send it 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and it'll get here. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the epicenter of hell. It
Yeah.
seems like these
God.
days.
I've been noticing some similarities between the red guy and the orange guy.
Ah, Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, we both have that crazy hair.
Yeah, and a little pokey tail.
And the red guy hosts a reality show down here where he says you're fired.
That's right.
Yeah, that is true.
But he just burns people. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Teachers Lounge. We'll do our best to keep it positive, and we'll see you next week. So until then, stay flippy.
Class is out and the coffee's on. I got a couple things on my chest I got to get off. Cut me some slack and pour me a cup of that joy. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. Let's wrap it up and hit the road.